What we'll be wearing next is what the fashion industry is all about. But at the Global Fashion Summit in Copenhagen, presented by Global Fashion Agenda, it's the impact the business has on the world, not just our wardrobe, which is a priority.
Be fast in changing the world, not just the fashion trends.
The aim of the Global Fashion Summit this year is ambition to action. We need to amplify the voices of the sustainability movement and make sure that we can inspire, mobilize, and advocate for more sustainable practices. There is an opportunity to also make responsible choices from materials to the way they manufacture, the way they transport, and the way they distribute.
The high seas and high fashion may seem worlds away, but reducing greenhouse gas emissions in logistics is vital if brands are to bring down their total supply chain footprint. Collaboration between fashion companies and their logistics providers is key to accelerate decarbonisation.
The journey we are all on to reduce greenhouse gas emissions is both urgent and uncertain. We must all have ambitious targets, and in Maersk, our goals are that by 2030, 25% of the cargo Maersk move on ships will use green fuels, and 90% of our logistics facilities will have green operations. This will provide sustainable supply chain opportunities for all the fashion companies working with us. We are a sustainable business partner that co-design and co-create solutions that are sustainable, but also provide speed of delivery and visibility critical for a fast-paced industry like fashion. Greener can also be fast.
The shoebox is a very nice example how we cut our carbon emissions, because it illustrates nicely what you can achieve if you go for efficiency. If you look into the shoebox, you can actually see that normally there's quite some air in it. So if you do the shoebox in the right size, that it fits the shoe, that helps you to reduce the CO2 emissions, because you simply can fit more shoe boxes in a container. If you do this by 10%, you already save 10% on your CO2 emissions right away. If you look on ocean freight and air freight, that's obviously the big drivers we have. To reduce carbon footprint, on the air freight reduction we have achieved, coming from 3% of all our goods being shipped via air freight in 2019 to below 1% in 2022.
H&M Group is partnering with Maersk as part of its work to decarbonise its supply chain. The companies are collaborating to produce a global sustainability strategy for transport as part of H&M Group's aim to be net zero by 2040 and more than halve emissions by 2030.
Our vision is lead the change towards circular fashion industry with net zero climate target while being a fair and equal company. And towards that target, our goal is 56% absolute reductions by 2030. This is one of the most challenging goals in the industry. So we need partners like Maersk who understand our way of working and able to find solutions with us. Two companies putting their efforts together, and we together will lead the change.
Logistics is a fundamental part of every fashion supply chain. That's why decarbonising logistics is on the agenda, when the aim of this year's Global Fashion Summit is to move from ambition to action, for an industry determined to make the clothes we buy become greener, whatever their colour.